Hello, my dears. My name is Joanna, and I'll welcome you to the Johanna Draconis, the Deconstruction of C-PTSD podcast. In this episode, we will talk about nightmares, which are a common occurrence and a symptom strongly associated with PTSD, an awful and tiring experience that might be able to be avoided. So let us talk about it. As I said, the nightmares that you get while suffering from PTSD are well known and they can range drastically, from relatively normal nightmares to being so terrifying that you don't even dare to breathe when you wake up from them. In my experience, these dreams are usually more intense and just feel a bit different. While it is an easy way to get an estimate how severe the PTSD is at that moment, it isn't worth the lack of sleep and the fear, especially since the nightmares have a tendency to lead to a lack of sleep, which leads to a lack of energy and increased likelihood of more nightmares and a slowing down of the healing process, ignoring the potential of scaring or confusing the people around you. You might even not be able to sleep next to your partner because of them. That is sadly a rather common experience and depends, of course. We will first talk about where do the nightmares come from, then what we can do about them, and then a little trick I use. Now, it is easy to be mad at your brain for doing this to you, but it is actually just a part of your brain. The rest of the brain is as surprised as you are about it. Usually dreams are a mix of our experiences this day, revelations, processes, people, and so on. Because when we sleep, our brain goes fully active, so to speak. That is one of the reasons why sleep is so important. During this time, our brain sorts memories, learns new knowledge, evaluates the interactions, and so on. You basically work overtime when you sleep. That also usually means it tries to process trauma, which can lead to our nightmares. Or it is a call for aid, which is usually shown by having the same dream again and again. It means your brain is stuck and needs help. So it might be also the case that PTSD has a way to shape those nightmares and make them more extreme than it was originally. One can only speculate, as dreams are still researched and a lot more needs to be learned. Now, we just have established that the brain isn't really in on it, and that makes it our best ally. You see, our brain doesn't know if the dreams are real either, and so is unsure if that monster approaching is real or not. Since if yes, we are dead, it tells us to run, even though it isn't certain it will do so, because in doubt, better be safe than sorry. As we said many times before, the brain does everything to stay alive. And if presented with a lethal situation, it will panic and turn into survival mode. So what we must do is show our brain that it is asleep and in control of the situation. But because we are stuck as much as the brain, we can't really do something about that situation in that moment. What we can do is something else. A little trick I discovered and has ever since been able to keep the nightmares at bay, for a few exceptions, is I sleep with a plushie. Now, I understand that isn't an option for everyone, and that is not a problem. You can use something else. Now, the important part is to not touch the plushie except when you are sleeping or about to sleep. Yes, you can shortly touch it to pick it up and so, but you really should avoid doing it. This way the brain connects the plushie with sleeping. I was literally in a nightmare running and fearing for my life when suddenly I recognized my plushie in my hand and my brain goes, oh, it's a dream, and I had full control over it. Helpful to get control over dreams in general if you ask me. Like I said, it being a plushie is the optional part, but it should be grabbable, as in you should be able to grab, hold and squeeze it. And it needs to have a unique texture. That means it should feel different to anything else you usually hold. Like if someone puts it in your hand blindfolded, you should immediately know what it is. Which is why a plushie works really great. But it really can be anything. I once used a raincoat ball together for a while because I forgot my plushie. It will take a bit for your brain to make the connection. The more it is a ritual, the faster it usually works. I hope I explained it well, but please, if you have questions, let me know. That was it for today's episode. I hope you found it helpful. Hope you are safe and well. And, as always, if you have any questions or feedback and the like, please let me know at contactme@johannatakonis.com. More information and transcript you can find as usually under johannatakonis.com/podcast/ and links are in the description. I hope to see you next time. Watch yourselves and have a wonderful time.